Hello, welcome to Positive Role Models. This evening we're going to take an opportunity to introduce you to some very, very special people. You know, so many times positive role models are mentioned to us as sports figures, political figures, special and very, very big people in the universe. But very, very often our real role models are the people that are around us, the little people. People who are not really little and not really very common, but people who inspire us to go on. People like our teacher, our mom, our dad, a best friend, a cousin, or even a stranger that lives down the street that does things very, very well, and you like to do the things that they do as well. There were songs about a rose in Spanish Harlem. So many times the media only focuses on the negative, and I know that that does make a lot of sense because it does make a lot of money. But here today we have people who are positive role models who live their lives very positively, although everything in their life showed them that everything should go against them. I'd like to introduce you to Carolyn and Wyatt Hickerson.
Hi.
How are you?
We're fine.
Just fine.
Good. Carolyn and Wyatt had a very, very good story to tell you. You guys tell us a little bit about how you guys met and how you got together?
Would you like to start?
Start. We graduated from high school together.
Oh, very interesting. They graduated from high school. That's one good thing to being positive.
Yes.
Yeah, a few years ago, and we were in choir together. We were best friends, and he went singing one way and I went the other way.
Yeah.
And,
We met up a few years later at a party at a friend's house. And we hadn't seen each other for years. Our paths had crossed on the circuit as singers, but we hadn't gotten together. We hadn't seen each other. And we ran into each other again and just kind of renewed old acquaintances and got married.
Wow. But I think what you're trying to say, though, is that you had very different past, but that you met at one point, you split up, and then you came back together.
Right.
Exactly.
That really sounds important.
yeah.
Let's see something about your past.
This is a picture of me. I was 5 years old. I used to do shows around our apartment building there, and it's a little friend of mine named Joyce. And I did all the production, all the steps and everything. That's how it started. This is a picture of my family, who I worked with internationally and locally, and we comprise 8 people.
This is a group that I performed at the Flamingo Hotel with in Las Vegas called the 7 Tall Stories. It was a lot of fun doing that. We used to really pump it up. Now this is a live picture on stage at the Flamingo, and I think I was singing I Gotta Be Me. Or maybe it was Wanna Take You Higher. This is on stage with A Taste of Honey. Believe it or not, I was a member of that group. They went on to Boogie Oogie Oogie fame. And we were performing for Kenny Hahn there.
This is another picture of my family. We were performing in Japan at the time. Don't we kind of look Japanese a little bit?
They did something to your eyes, didn't they?
This is Rocky Robert, a guy we used to work for in Europe, and we recorded over there and in Italy for about 7 years as a family, and he did shows and we did shows. And this is our Japanese advertisement that we used over there to the club called the Apple House. We performed with the Commodores over there.
This is us in the studio with our producer Frank Busey, who coined the name Coleman Hickerson, Coleman being my wife's maiden name. This was Silk and Honey, and this is why we became Coleman Hickerson, because our band members didn't want to call me Honey. That was my name. But we're still Silk and Honey to each other.
All the riches in the world can't buy you happiness. gonna be you and me. Time I love you makes our love you stronger. It gets better and better. It's gonna be you and me.
Oh, that was fantastic. You guys are really terrific. And I can see why you really make such a great team. You know, though, and the song is so great, time and loving each other. Tell me, Wyatt, who inspired you?
Well, I would have to say that my dad inspired me. He was always behind me and encouraging me in every way. He always told me, never start anything if you don't finish it. And so I wanted to be in music, and I started doing music, and I'm determined to finish it. And
good.
That's what I'm going to do.
I know. And how about you, Carolyn? Who inspired you?
Well, for one, my grandmother inspired me. She, yeah, she had 19 children.
Oh.
And each of her children was in music or, you know, an artist or some kind of profession. And I just watched that and I said, I've got to do something, you know, not just for me, but to help other people. And so she was great, and my mother and father as well. They did everything for us.
That's wonderful. And so even though you guys loved one another at one time and had led different lives and then came back together, you were inspired to go after your dreams and your goals. That's obvious with all the different groups and different things that you've been through. How do you keep going? What makes you go on day to day? Because I know that it's not hard in today's society, and especially in the music business. What inspires you to go on?
Well, what inspires me is endurance and never giving up, you know, having a goal and just sticking to it, and you know, having hope, and you just keep on going, you know. And people applaud you and they tell you that, you know, you look good and that you're doing good, and so therefore I think that's what
determination and drive to want to do something, you know, want to accomplish something, make something of yourself, and to pick a field that you love doing what you're doing, you can really go ahead on it.
Exactly.
And do it, and I'm just determined not to give it up.
Well, that's certainly a lot of wonderful things for us to hear. Perseverance, endurance, dreams, roles, and goals. All of those are things for us to inspire to. Let's see about how you have progressed. Okay, and we're going to see some other pictures that's going to show how you guys, once you got back together, what you did together. And I think that's going to be really, really exciting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Coleman Hickerson is the name we were given by our producer, Mr. Frank Busey. We were formerly Silk and Honey.
Formerly Silk and Honey because he calls me Silk and I call him Honey.
Yes.
This is my sister Betty Coleman, and we comprise a trio from time to time. We do shows and different kind of benefits and things like that. We have fun.
Very often Betty's with us. Now this is a picture of Carol by herself as Lady C. Aside from being a trio and a duo, we also perform solo.
I do studio work from time to time also, and we do it together. This is another picture of us in our Las Vegas attire. This is for Las Vegas Lounge Act that we do. And I think Wyatt looks kind of staunch in the center there, don't you think?
Well, what can I say? Between two very gorgeous ladies.
Ooh,
I like that.
Thank you.
This is Carol in one of her composites. She also is an actress as well as a producer and director in her own right. And this is a picture for the acting part. She's a member of SAG as well. This is a picture of us as the duo that we use when we play club gigs. And I think it's about time for some new pictures. What do you think?
Yeah, I do too. That'll be nice.
When your heart is breaking and there's no one around to wipe away the tears, you can always come to me, girl. I'll be there to take away your fears. Like a knight in shining armor, I'll come to your rescue.
Let's always stay together.
Yes, baby. can feel the love. Loving you is easy. Sink you down to me. Loving you is easy. I can feel the love. Loving you is easy. Sink you down to me. Loving you is easy. I can feel the love. Loving you is easy. Sink you down to me. Loving you is easy. I can feel the love. Loving you is easy. Sink you down to me. Loving you is easy. I can feel the love. Loving you is easy. Sink you down to me. Loving you is easy. I can feel the love. Loving you is easy. Sink you down to me. Loving you is easy. I can feel the love. Loving you is easy. Sink you down to me. Loving you.
That was just fantastic. I can't tell you, you guys are so talented.
Thank you.
You really, really sing well together. You know, we were talking before about your role models, about your father and your grandmother, and the things that they gave you, the impetus that they gave you to carry on.
Yeah.
Then you got together and you started singing together. Tell us something about your life now and some of the things that you have planned for your future.
Well, I do want to maybe encourage some other people who are interested in the same type of business that I'm in, and maybe encourage them to get into it and help in any way I can with their career and push them on, because, you know, I think everybody needs a boost. If I can help anybody,
Some kind of push,
I'm
right.
willing to.
How about you, Carolyn? Are you doing the same thing with your husband?
Yeah, he and I are we're still pursuing a recording contract. We don't push it, and we don't try to, you know, prod it out of people. We just do what we do. And we try to be a positive, you know, positive image to people, to say, you know, how come you guys are like you are? And we have family, you know, we have families, but we just do this because we love to do it. And, and it's wonderful.
And I'm sure from your lives that you guys have been positive role models to other people. I heard a wonderful story about how both of you kind of put aside your careers for a while to take over a grandchild. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, my grandson, I have a son who has cerebral palsy, and so he needed to help out, so we had to put the career to the side. And he's a little bigger now, so we're able to get out there, you know, and do some things that we want to do.
With dreams deferred and dreams that go on. You know, there's so many times in our lives when we have a goal or a dream and we see things in front of us, and something happens and we take a little trip or a little detour off the road. But Carolyn and Wyeth are here to tell us today that we need to keep our eyes on the prize, to keep going forward. And that's what positive role models are. I want you to think about it. Who is a positive role model for you? Carolyn, Wyeth, is there anything else that you would like to say to leave with our audience?
I'd like to add that we are in the process of making our first gospel album, and we're so excited about it.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Yeah, we have a lot of things to say to people in gospel, to tell them, you know, where we started out and how far we've come and where our strength is.
Well, I wish you a lot of success. The gospel being the good news, and I'm sure that everyone would like to hear the good news about you. I want to thank you all for joining us, and I want you to look again. Check your TV stations, check your local listings. I also want to thank Donna Thorne for helping coming up with the concept like this. It's a fantastic idea. And if you like it, why don't you write in? Let us know your opinions and your feelings, and also share with us some positive role models so that we can have them on the show. We'd like to have you and your positive role model shown. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Now that I can see, I read between the lines. No
second time I've done it. The other time I was in the back, so this is the first time I got to get on camera and be part of it, so it's fun. You have some really good talent to those people.
Thanks.
It's hard to find people with talent, with great voices, you know?
Really great.